everyone, and welcome to Long's Toys. Today we're taking a look at two more of the Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle figures here. We have Origami Ninja and Splinter. So as you can see here, Origami Ninja, they are called Confetti Commandos, kind of the generic foot soldier for the year. Get some pizza points. 4 pizza points there on the bottom to be specific. So it says, Origami Ninja Foot Clan is a group of evil ninjas bent on taking over New York City. They have the power of teleportation through hidden gateways and the ability to create and control origami ninjas. So that's cool. I don't know. Again, I have not seen more than the first episode of the show. I need to get on that. But I do like how they're the Foot Clan and they have the foot on the mask, which I think is really, really cool. So I don't know if these guys, like, does Baron Draxum run the Foot Clan, or does that mean, is that hinting at Shredder later on to come? I'm not really sure. So I'll have to watch more of the show to find out. But again, I love this packaging. Very, very colorful. And because it's not one of the individual turtles, we get this cool group shot. Very neat. And then here is Master Splinter, the Chill Master. And I really don't love this design of Splinter on the show. I pretty much hate it. But for some reason, the toy just looks better than the show to me. So I decided to cave and pick him up because I was interested to see, you know, how this toy fares. Like, you can just, I don't know, it's weird. Maybe it's how they portray him on the show. It says, once human, now a mutated rat, Splinter is an eccentric mentor to his turtle sons. When he's not watching games. See, that's the thing, like, I don't know. Lu-jitsu. That's actually funny. Weapons, TV remote, and tail for operating the remote. Like, come on, man. Do not reduce the once proud ninja master to a couch potato. That's just not right. So let's go ahead. Let's get these two out of the packaging, and we'll take a closer look. Alright, so here are the two figures out of the packaging. We'll start with the ninja. Kind of simple, but I like it. Like I said, I really love the pop of orange and then the blue eyes. Those colors look really great together. And I just think it's really cool to have the foot painted there on his mask. Now, as far as his articulation goes, pretty good, actually. The head can move from side to side, has a little bit of up and down. Typical joint in the shoulders that we're used to. Can spin around and go out to the side. And then you have that same joint here in the elbows and the hips. Now, the legs are one solid piece. And you can see he has a hole for pegs, so he can be pegged into different places, like the playset and whatnot. But this one's here in the tip of his toe. So he seems to stand best when you put him on the flap part, and then it looks like he has like a elf boot here, like this. But I believe that's supposed to be up like he's on the ball of his foot. But it's really hard to get him to pose in that position, just because of weight distribution. So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess I'd have to put it like this, like it looks like he's jumping. So, I don't know. I don't know how to get him to pose on the ball of his foot. But you can just get him to stand perfectly fine on the rest of his foot. The accessories he comes with, he has this kind of mini scythe, which looks pretty good. And then he comes with these 3, I'm assuming these are shuriken? I'm assuming there's, because he's an origami ninja, there's supposed to be shuriken that kind of look like origami birds or something like that. I assume that's the motif they're going with. And they're not bad. So he comes with 3 of those. But all in all, I like the design. I think the color scheme's cool. It's like a dark gunmetal gray with the orange and the blue, which looks really good. Over here we have Splinter. He comes with 2 of these shuriken that are exactly the same as all the turtles come with. So by the time you collect this line, you're going to have tons of these things just all over the place. So here is the figure. And like I said, I kind of like the figure, or I should say I like this design better in figure form than I do on the show. I like the tail. I like the, like, you know, crinkle cut tail. The only problem is the tail, I assume, is locked into place. As far as I can tell, this does not move. So his foot gets, you know, like it can only go so far because of that tail. So you kind of have to position the other foot, and it kind of just naturally pitches him forward. And because he's kind of heavy, that can be dangerous. And if you try to put this foot back to distribute some of the weight. You can't put this foot any farther back, so it looks a little weird. I mean, it'll work. He can stand, but you can see this one never really touches the ground. But otherwise, the head can move from side to side. You have the typical shoulder joint. The wrists cannot move at all in the sleeve of his robe. But he does have waist articulation, which is kind of cool. And then this is a soft plastic, kind of gummy plastic, soft rubbery plastic for the bottom of his robe. But everything up here is normal plastic. So yeah, like I said, I don't mind this design. I guess because he's not acting ridiculous, and I can pretend, I can look at this design and in my mind just pretend he's like a wise old sage instead of a ridiculous loudmouth couch potato. So I guess that's just, something you have to do in your own mind. But I don't think it's a terrible design. It's certainly not what we're used to. But I do kind of like the crazy little tail. The other thing that's really cool is his staff accessory. So here's kind of, an old staff, but then you can slide this out and it's got a katana hidden inside, which I think is really cool. And I'm really excited they molded it in a different colored plastic and inserted it in there so that it actually looks like a blade instead of just doing the whole thing in the same color. Because this is kind of a gimmick that the original Splinter toy had. Wasn't as long, but that was definitely all in one color. So you can put this in his hand like this, and then he can use it as a sword. Or, of course, you can put this back in here, and he can use it to prop himself up as a staff. And the staff fits pretty well in his hand. The only thing is, if you click it into this part where it fits very snugly, it doesn't really touch the ground. You can just have him kind of grasp it up here, and then it'll keep him up, but he doesn't grab it as tightly. So yeah, like I said, it's weird getting him to stand. And also, it looks like this hand is meant to hold the staff, but it can't because it's closed. So I don't really know what's going on with this hand. He's like, oh shucks. Why isn't my figure a little better? Oh shucks. But yeah, so like I said, it's not a terrible looking figure. I just think a couple of wonky mechanics with the tail getting in the way of the foot so that he can't stand. Super amazing. That's just kind of a bummer. If you pitch him completely flat, he leans really forward. So that's not really going to work. And I really wish you could push that foot back just a little more. I mean, honestly, he kind of just balances on the tail. So maybe that's what they expected? Yeah, I guess that's really what to do. Just use the tail and this foot. And just have him balance on those two things. And then he stands actually pretty well. So yeah, forget his other foot. Use his tail. See if I can get this back in here. Does that make him too top heavy? Yeah, it looks like it. Overall, I think they're decent figures. I think the Ninja is a little bit better than Splinter, only because of the few little problems he has with his feet and not standing that well. But I like the accessories he comes with. I think the paint's pretty sharp. The amount of articulation he has is decent. I would have loved it if the wrists had a swivel where they meet the coat, just so that the whole forearm could swivel. And I wish that tail was a little better situated so it didn't get in the way of the feet. But other than that, pretty cool little figure. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Please like, share, comment, subscribe. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. And as always, thank you so much for watching.